Quote, "It's important for all these guys to get every bit of their worth. I want to see Zeke the highest paid. I want to see Amari the highest paid. I want to see myself up there. And I don't think any of that is too far-fetched, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, a year or two later, you're not going to be the highest paid. That's just the way the game goes. I don't think it's fair to sit there and say, this guy can't get that because he needs the rest of the team. The rest of the team can all get theirs with the way the league is trending." We'll bring Bobby Carpenter into this here clearly. And I will just ask you, is that an accurate statement that Dak is making? I understand that there will be quarterbacks who surpass him, whatever contract he gets. But is it accurate to say you could sign all these guys, and that doesn't even mention Jalen Smith, sign all of them and still have room to field a team?
You could if you were the New York Yankees or Boston Red Sox and lived in a salary capless world. But the problem is, yeah, it's going to move up, but you're talking about paying guys in a fiscal year. And as the years move, yeah, your salaries raise. But you just can't max pay everybody in a given season and think, hey, we're going to be fine. Because the reason Dallas part of it's good is their offensive line. And if you take that away, well, then what's Zeke going to do? What's Dak going to do? You have all kinds of issues.
And here's why I wanted to keep Jay in for this part of the conversation. Louis Riddick brought this up at the very beginning of our show today. And Bobby, you know all these football players. Do you think they look right now with envy at what's going on in the NBA and say, why can't that be us?
I look at what's going on in the NBA, and I have envy. So, yes, I know those guys do, especially the quarterbacks, because those are the positions where they can walk into ownership. They have the relationship like Paul George had in Oklahoma City that can just walk in there and say, hey, I know I just signed a 4-year deal, but I want out. Aaron Rodgers was able to do that in Green Bay. You know, Peyton Manning's been able to do stuff like that. But they're really the only position. That's why you see those guys starting to creep into the 30s where the NBA salaries are.
But I learned a distinction, Bobby, a long time ago. When you're promoting the NFL, it's a shield. Mm-hmm. When you're promoting the NBA, it's a player. Jerry West, it's a players' league. When you look at the Forbes list, when you look at social media, when you look at commercials, the NBA continues to market its players individually in a team dynamic where the players in the NFL almost get promoted as the team and the helmet, and we're going to show up and watch them perform regardless.
With an extremely small group of exception, yes.
There is no dumber content on the internet than NFL players complaining about NBA salaries, okay? And it happens every offseason, and you go, there's 53 of you dudes, and there's like 14 or 15 of them. And until they start playing 11 on 11, like, that's just the way it's going to work. That when it's a handful of players, like, I don't think there's more than 10 players in the NBA that can completely change your franchise. But when you're one of those guys, you're going to get that kind of money. And then when you're searching for the next one. So that whole stuff drives me crazy. As far as it pertains to Dallas, if they max Zeke, it's a huge mistake. The running back, you're crying about, oh, you know, it's outdated. No, it doesn't make any sense to pay any of you guys. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the position you play. The Gurley contract didn't make any sense before he got hurt. The Johnson contract doesn't make sense. He's missed half his time. And if you're going to go ahead and max whatever the version of maxing a running back is in 2019, 2020 for a running back, it's a waste of money.
I will say this. If you get Zeke close to what a max is now and pay him today, you know, he's going into his 4th season. If you could find a way to do a 4 or 5 year deal, you're not taking it all the way to year 10, 11, 12. You can get most of that prime, encompass it, and then it's essentially, hey, after year 8 or year 7, we can potentially move on when the guaranteed money's done.
Greeny already have a crystal ball for Ezekiell Elliott's future.
Let me hear it.
His on-field productivity is going to be elite, but his off-field productivity is going to stop them from paying him a long-term deal. He's going to be the next Le'Veon Bell.
So says Rostradamus. He's been saying that for a while, and it does feel like it's sort of creeping in that direction.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.